Well, hello there. I hope you are doing okay. So, I'm going to talk about this thing where parents do where they put siblings against each other. You know? Words I go by from now on is, if it happened to me, then it's happening to like everyone else. There's no home you can walk into today where the parents don't compare their kids. The kids most likely told the parents they don't like hearing it, but the parents disregarded the issue. Maybe some of these parents like authority they have against children, knowing they can't hurt you and you can't do anything about it. If you didn't get what I said, I mean, like, they know that they can hurt you and you cannot hurt them back, and you won't do anything about it because you are their property in some way. Logically, you'd think they'll treat you better than they were ever treated in their childhood. Having multiple kids just to be messy and also have some love to fall back into is just some delusional and unnecessary torture. Let me share what my own experiences are, and if I have the chance, I'll share stories of other people that I've met who have been in the same position. As I have said before, my mom used to tell my sister things like I sleep around back in 2010, 2012. And she would tell them things and say, don't be, like Nina. Although I don't recall doing these things during those times that she said those things, I also never spoke to her about my abuse either. So she wouldn't even have known information to say all those terrible things to me. Like calling me a hoe, knowing that I wasn't a hoe, didn't make any sense to me, if you're following. Even if I did wanted to speak about it, she killed the chance because I felt as if my voice didn't matter in any way. I felt betrayed. She made me feel unworthy and dirty. But then again, she wouldn't understand that level of mental abuse. She didn't know how deep words affected the mind. She made it seem like I pleaded a man to abuse me. I remember the first time talking about an abuse that happened between me and a 22-year-old when I was about 14, right before I got married. I didn't even want to speak about it. It's the only abuse I voiced, and I was outed by someone else. She made phone calls to laugh about it, cry about it because I was a whore to her. She did everything but realize my emotions mattered too. For weeks, she told the kids I sell my body, I have AIDS, and I was sinking deeper and deeper into the void. There was a day I was trying to go to a program, so I asked my sister if she plans on going to the family store to give me the house keys because I'll be home before her, and she refused to give me the keys. So we got into it. Then she said, Mom and stepdad told me to call the police if you try to force yourself to take the keys. When I tell you my heart broke, I felt betrayed. That anger stayed with me for a while because I didn't deserve to be treated in that way. They used to hide my pair of keys to claim I lost them so they could keep me from leaving the house. But still, they had ways to torment me about how I lost them knowing they had the keys. Every day, they claimed I was putting voodoo in their foods, or I'm purposely leaving the door open to have someone put poison in the food. My mom and my stepdad continuously put in my head how I wasn't blessed. I heard those words so much, I started to believe them. I truly believed I was unworthy of things because they didn't bless me. My mom forced me to get on my knees and apologize to my stepdad, and that day I cried while on my knees. It was so humiliating. That day I knew my mom was against me. They used to tell me my sister was prettier, dresses better, follows directions better. My heart is still broken. They took my youth from me. I was too young to experience such a heavy burden. Them saying I was jealous hurt me because how many times do you think they had to say it until I truly believed maybe, just maybe, I was ugly? When my sister got married, they started to pin her against me. They told me I was jealous she was a virgin and I wasn't. My anger became really bad. I saw red, especially when my sister entertained it. The amount of crying I did to tell myself I'll be okay is so much. Maybe if I wasn't abused, I would have turned out to be a favorite child too. Maybe I'll be blessed enough for a child of my own. When I started working, my mom told my older sister to not help me to go to work, even though my mom knew I'd get fired. She told my sister, if I'm your mother, you will not take Aslina to work. I cried every day because I had no support or anyone else to rely on. I wondered why is she doing this to me? So I learned to drive on my own because I knew what PNDR was because of me driving a forklift at my job. Howard played a small part in it as well, teaching me to drive. But I did and got myself a car. I did nearly everything myself. I survived away from my family. When I had the job, I made sure to buy my siblings things I never had. I supported my sister's makeup career as an artist and sent her makeup palettes. Somehow, someway, my mom figured out a way to involve herself between the relationships I built on my own with my siblings. She asked my sisters to cut me off, to never help me when I needed them. She used threats to get them to obey her. So slowly I started to lose myself all over again. How can my biggest enemy be the one who brought me into this world? Over the years, I missed the birth of my nieces and nephews. I blocked my siblings every chance I got. I was abandoned in a world I was brought into with a family. It broke my heart. I can't share much good about my siblings other than we suffered with each other. My siblings were all I had, and I stood alone regardless. I will never understand how she made me believe I was nothing without her. I will never understand why she took my innocence from me, why she didn't see me hurting. Why did she pin me against my siblings? I can only assume somehow she was attached to me, so she blocked me from being successful or happy unless she is in control of my happiness. Because no matter where I went, my heart desired to fix my mom because I needed a mother. Allah removed me from her presence and raised me outside. Allah protected me on every level of life. I had zero survival skills, just a kind heart. I just had a kind heart towards others. But inside, I felt empty, unworthy of love from my family and men. I felt useless for many reasons. I lived half my life on the edge, knowing at any given time I would end myself. But instead, I did it. I'm here. I am here. I kept my promise that I needed to stay alive because one day my siblings will need me. Allah saw wisdom and leadership within me. So regardless of how many times my mom pinned me against my siblings, I had hope that one day I will see a better future. I'll become better. I'll be better. I'll be happy. I believed in that. And I'm more than happy that God put me in a position to see that I had every right to have hope, because now all my relationships with my siblings are fixed. And I worked on trying to get my mom to understand what love is. I am trying on a daily basis to make my mom understand how mental health affects children, and little by little she's getting it. But yeah, I shared that to just say, please stop pinning kids against each other. Don't have kids then pin them against each other. Okay? All right. That's all. Y'all have a good night.